Good evening, everybody. It's my turn to host the show tonight. Rob's on a holiday. It was his birthday yesterday, and he's gone away to some distant land to celebrate. So this is totally been revamped by myself and my brother. The reason is we just want to make it personal. We want to talk about Alphington, St Thomas, Exwick, and Carrick area.
And Broadcliff,
There's
don't forget
nothing
Broadcliff.
on a bit of, I've only got a scribble here, and what we say is where it goes. So thank you for joining us. Let's have some fun tonight, and we're going to be open and honest. And if anybody wants to ring in, the number is, I've been told to say this,
07355 429 205.
Guys, if you want to ring in, because it's nice to get people ringing in and asking us questions. Or you can email Jess or whatever platform she uses, because she's the wizard in the background. So let's kick it off tonight, guys. We're going to have the first discussion. We've got Karen Lowe here, who is a potential candidate. Karen, what have you done so far to become a potential candidate?
Well, I've put my application in, Neil, and I'm waiting for the vetting process to start. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I will add.
I hope the vetting's better than it was.
And let's hope no ghosts come out of the woodwork. I
know.
wouldn't have thought so. But
I don't think any ghosts. We also met Dan. Dan, by the way, you're going to be filling your vetting form in. We're going to send you to our bosses above us, Margaret and Siam, and they're going to give you the direction where you can fill in and become a potential councillor.
As we're pointing out, we are starting to get candidates. If anyone's still interested, though, there's plenty of spaces left.
Yep. So basically, guys, if you want to be a councillor for next year, you need to start doing it now, and we'll point you in the right direction. And there is a process. There is a vetting process. And I've forgotten my favourite man on the side, Nat.
He's back again.
Not a grumpy old man in sight. There we go. Nice to be back. Thank you, guys.
Some people say this is a bunch of grumpy old men, but we've got a beautiful lady on the show now, so you can't call us grumpy now. And that you've even shaved and had a haircut. Can you show us your hair?
I've had a shave and a haircut, but
there we go.
So we've cut the videos out. We're not doing the old night riding the horse and Tony and I doing these speeches.
No, my legs were beginning to hurt on that one.
There'll be so many. You've had a busy week this week.
Busy week.
Training.
Yeah, to fix a lorry, fix a truck. Yeah.
Tell us more about the flagpole.
Oh, so I've asked Cranbrook Town Council to add a motion or suggestion into their next meeting for a permanent flagpole in Cranbrook. So that's exciting. There's a lot of support for it, and hopefully we'll get one in there. I've offered to use my locality budget for it, so fingers crossed. We'll get one up and we'll fly some flags on it.
What sort of flags are you going to fly there, Nate?
What's a flagpole for, Tom?
Well, exactly. I just thought I'd ask.
So going back to you, Karen, you are a potential councillor. What made you become apply to be a councillor, would I say?
well, I believe, from my point of view, I think this country needs change, and I think we need honesty, and I would like safer streets for my children. And I guess I'm just a concerned parent that's worried about the way things are going.
Yeah, we're talking about Exeter, are we? Or generally?
Just generally, but also Exeter. I don't think it's I haven't lived here all my life, but I don't think it's as safe. It doesn't feel as safe to me as it used to.
And do you think you can make a difference?
Yeah, I do.
This is not scripted, guys, so basically I'm putting her on the spot.
Because do you know what, Neil? I don't think it can be that difficult. Just get some common sense. Let's apply some common sense to everything. It can't be that hard.
I think
There's too much bureaucracy, and it's just...
And basic principles of life.
Yes.
You know, please and thank yous and being kind to each other goes a long way. And if you can start building blocks like that.
Well, yeah, a very kind man rang me up the other day, and he was I won't go into details why he emailed me, but basically he said if reform does get into power, there's not a magic wand to sort this country out. And I have to agree there's no magic wand. But I also agree that, we've give these these different parties a chance to sort this
It
country
needs to
out.
change direction.
We need to change direction and give reform a chance. That's what I say. I mean, people are turning to it. I'm not about the right-wing rubbish. I'm not even going to go down that road because none of us are right-wing, and I ain't got to justify that to anybody.
No.
You're not right-wing.
No,
Nat, you're not
absolutely
right-wing.
not.
You know, anybody wants to call me right-wing, you stand here and tell me what you've done for Queen and Country.
Come on the show.
I think
Yeah, by the way, come on the show.
on
Be
the show,
interested.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but that's the end of that.
I will add,
okay?
there's an empty chair there, look, for another
Always an
occasion.
empty
Always
chair.
an empty seat.
lonely over here.
We're going to actually keep on to the subject. We're going to look at Alphington. I was introduced or had an email the other day from one of my constituency, or two of them actually, and these guys don't know what I'm going to bring up tonight, and I want their opinion and I want your opinion. Jess, if we could just put up, the slide. There's a dispute in Alphington right now between two neighbours. It will come apparent later on. This is the front of the property. The main part of the garden is at the front, and at the back, it's been disputed that they own a bit at the back, but they haven't. It's been sold off when they bought the house many years ago, and there's a bungalow being built in there. Anyway, the story is unfolding. I might get my facts a little bit wrong because I've only just been introduced to this problem. We went out and met the couple. We'll go back to the neighbour, very interesting in a minute. And I dare say he might fall out at me when I finish. But that's, I can only tell you what I know. But they had a Wendy house in there, a Wendy house for their children. It was in their garden at the front for over 20 years, 23 years. You might quote me wrong. Okay. And, we're talking years. And we can prove this on Google Earth. You know about Google Earth, guys?
Yeah.
Yep.
Timeline. Ever used it?
Yep.
Brilliant. Timelines. So anyway, there's a little bit of dispute when the building was knocked down, how big the building was, was it there when they changed structure or whatever. But the bottom line is they replaced it because after 23 years, the children have grown up, they've got a job and they've gone. Okay? So they can't sit in a Wendy house. Go back to the Wendy house, could you please?
I think you can just see it's the green one, isn't it?
It was said by the neighbour the Wendy house is only a metre high. But I could tell you this, it's not a metre high, it's bigger. It's about 2.4 metres, right? And you can see the little child. We've kept it at a distance for safe, so you can't recognise the child. But they said it was only a metre high. Now, they've replaced it because it's rotten and it's old and it's brown and it's fallen to bits. Okay, next slide. They replaced it with a summer house. Neighbour didn't like it. Even though down the road, they've got permission to build a double garage. Right, even though the neighbour is now allowed to park 3 cars because he's ripped his garden out. Okay, so these people have been friendly for years. The neighbour even says, the lady who has got the summer house even said hello to the neighbour's wife. Next minute, they get a letter from the police saying, "Don't say good morning to my wife." Or the police said, "Don't say." Unbelievable. But they've gone to Exeter City Council, the neighbour, and said this structure should not be put up. It's been bounced around. It's cost this couple thousands of pounds. Bloody stressful. Yeah, I used the word stress. Can't swear, can I? I'm getting told off. Okay, it's that ridiculous. Now they've got an enforcement order to knock it down in 2 weeks, even though there was a building there before. And there's a punchline. Now, what do you think of this, guys? You can't see it from the street. Nobody's complained except this guy next door and a written letter from somebody across the road. Can we go back to the front video of the building? Of the property?
That's absolutely bonkers.
This is what really bugs me. Exeter City Council, I know you have to have rules. I know you have to have planning rules. That is just the other side of that bush. It's the structure. Can you see it? Unless you're on a crane, you can't see it. People are wasting our money. Our money. Okay? It's costing them a lot of money. All they want to do is live in peace. Now, this is the crunch line. Am I allowed to say this or not?
Yeah, say it.
The neighbour was a Labour councillor since 2016 to 2024. And guess what? He worked on the planning committee. Yeah. He knows all the ins out, but he's very clever, Nat. He's not really associated with it, but he knows the rules. And I spoke to the people who's paid for some organisation to fight it, and he said, I've never come across so many problems where they're not doing this and not doing that. So now they've got to spend another £500 and go to appeal, which goes to
Planning?
right up the highest possible
right.
place it is. But guess what? I've invited the BBC down there for next week. And let's see. So our money is being wasted over a bloody structure, which is a summer house. What's your opinion, Karen? You're in shock, aren't you?
I'm not allowed to swear, am I?
No, well,
No,
I don't
I
really
just
know.
think
Really, I
it's-
don't really care anymore.
There is just so much money that is just wasted over just bureaucratic nonsense. How ridiculous. Just ridiculous.
This is really stressful to him. Yeah, the wife was in tears yesterday when we turned up.
It's going to cost them $1,000 in legal fees.
I just don't understand that.
We've
I'm
had it
struggling to get my head around it, and I want to go back and have a look at the laws on that, because surely hundreds of thousands of people get summer houses and they don't need planning for them.
Well, apparently, because in the front building, it's near the borderline, and they did this and they did that, and they can't do it, so they've got to knock it down. Even though nobody can see it unless that Labour councillor, ex-Labour councillor, is retired. And by the way, he never loses, I've been told. He's from the north, and he doesn't lose. He knows all the rules. Yeah? Am I allowed to say that? I don't know. I'm getting a bit excited. I'm very passionate, guys.
Well,
Right?
I
The more I do it.
personally-
Tony, what's your view?
I personally would like to go to their house. This is the ones who complain, and actually stand in a position, probably the roof or the chimney, to actually see what I'm looking at, because
the law
I can't
states
see
you
that.
can
Shall
take
we
a
all go
photo
next week?
from the front of the building, but you're not allowed to go on their building. But there's another crunch line. Karen, what were you going to say?
Shall we all go next week and do the podcast from outside the house? And we're going to have a look at it.
I can't really, because it cost me a lot of money to move this podcast, and Ed's already took all my money. I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to say
No,
that.
like
mate.
to say that.
It would be funny though, wouldn't it?
It with me. But we could all go down, yeah?
You could do it from the summer house. Actually,
We
it's
can go in
true,
the
isn't it?
summer house.
Yeah, but to be honest, I'm trying to work with all councillors down there, and I put my hand on my heart. Okay, I have wrote to Yvonne, I have wrote to Rob, and I wrote to the Exeter City planning lady, and I'm looking forward to their replies. So
They've
far,
not replied yet.
well, I only wrote to them, I think, yesterday.
You know, I had that as well.
Yeah,
where
but
I
what I'm saying is,
repro-
guys, we could all meet out there. Let's sort it out amicable instead of wasting time and money. And, you know, they just want to live in peace. That's the end of that. Okay? Well, it's not really the end, but it's the end tonight. And, guys, do you see, well,
It's not.
frustrates me.
It's not hurting anybody, is it? And you know, even if the kids wanted to come back and use it, would it still be classed as a
Not
as a
kids,
play
they're
technically-
area?
adults.
No, but
Technically,
I mean,
surely you
Hang
could
on a minute.
rebuild the summer
You know.
house.
Oh, that's a
It
good
could
point,
be
Karen.
grandchildren.
grandchildren,
come
yeah.
back and play.
You
You
could
know.
rebuild the original building, then, and there'd be no
If
complaint.
they're that problem, paint it bloody brown. Yeah, you wouldn't know the difference.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you've got to be weird looking out your window thinking that's an eyesore, when to me it's
I'd be more worried about him looking out.
I'd be more worried
You know,
about the
looking
neighbours
out the
looking at me.
windows,
Yeah, seems a bit pervy to me, but there we are.
You, right. You can see.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on, Karen. What are you going to say?
Nothing. I'm not sure you can say that.
Can I? Oh, sorry.
You can see we're new at this, and we're
Yeah.
loving every minute of it. And Tony, you've been in the council today. What was your job today?
My job, well, I can talk. One was actually very interesting. It was the youth council. So we actually, a load of county councillors went in to listen to a load of youth, which is, of course, our future. And what it is, they've got a council in Devon, so they sort of don't replicate what we do, but they make decisions amongst themselves. And hopefully, if there's any money left, some of those decisions might happen. But it was quite interesting.
I thought
listening
there's no
to them.
money.
No, we did tell them that actually at the meeting.
It's a shame, really.
We said it's
'cause,
a bit of a
yeah.
disappointment, but there isn't any money anyway.
No, I think,
But
Karen, I bring
one,
you
of-
in
one
this.
of the things they did bring up, though, quickly was how bad the bus service is. Now, before you go on, you've had the same email as me. Devon County Council produced an actual picture of Devon with all the bus routes and all the bus routes that are subsidised by Devon County Council. And they said that if we don't subsidise them, they showed you another picture, and a lot of those bus routes are all gone.
Well, you're jumping the gun now, guys, because can we
that
go
another
to
subject, was
the stagecoach picture? That's jumped the gun. Right.
Oh, didn't realise that.
So
Sorry.
I took a local residents down a couple of weeks ago to Stagecoach, where we met Peter. He's massive. He's a big boy, and he's in charge of all Devon,
Nearly as
all
big as that bus,
Cornwall,
isn't he, when you look at it?
and the Isle of Wight, Isle of Man, one of them. He's in charge of Guernsey. That's it, Guernsey. Right, and he showed us around the depot. He explained everything what was going on. We went into the operations room. We went into where they repaired the buses. This will all come out on our leaflet, which we've near enough designed, and that will be given out. This guy is basically saying he's not there to provide a bad service. All right, he's not there to provide a bad service. But out of all the areas he's worked in, from Glasgow to whatever, he said Exeter is the worst place to run a bus service.
So
All
it's
right.
been dug up all the time, isn't it?
Well, he showed me a board which will come out, a board full of TROs, traffic regulation orders. Now, the one for Alphington was that thick.
Yeah.
All right. Gas works have got to be done. Water board, they've all got to done this. And he said it is a nightmare. And sadly, it affects the A bus in my area.
It affects the buses on mine as well, because at the moment, Buddle Lane closed. No through access. So everything's diverted down other routes.
Yeah,
Karen, what's yours
the
like?
Heavy Tree Road is closed and has been closed for 3 months, I think, and they've extended it. I left home in Heavy Tree at 20 to 6, and I got here at 5:30. It took me 50
My
minutes.
conclusion is...
Yeah, so what's your conclusion, Karen?
Well, the streets aren't designed for it, and they need to stop closing. As soon as they close one road to do some gas works, they then go and close another one. And there was about 15 buses going down Magdalen Road. I don't know if you know Magdalen Road.
Yeah, I know
They made
Magdalen
it
Road,
one
yeah.
way.
Yeah.
15 buses I passed going down there. And, of course, they blocked the traffic, so nothing can come the other way.
See, now I think they're all sort of
don't
coming at 3
coordinate it.
points.
They don't
And they're all
Well,
going to meet in the middle.
I have to defend Stagecoach a little bit. And I know you're not going to like this, guys, but he went down there and he was very honest and open. And I had a list of questions, which thank you, Norman, for giving me. He answered all them questions except one. I can't remember the one he didn't answer, but he answered every one. Right, this Stagecoach, everybody thinks they're making loads and loads of money. They are making money. They are making a profit, but it is in the 1-digit figure. And what I mean by that, it's not 10%. It's a 1-digit figure. It's the biggest Stagecoach firm outside of London, right? And like I said, he said, because of Exeter, because it's a Roman city, you've got your choke points, the rivers, for example, Alphington Road, Carrot Street, and we're talking about the whole of Exeter. If you look at all the main arteries, Herefordshire, Magdalen Road, he said, and if a driver goes sick, yeah, they do have reserves, but there is issues, and he is trying to do his best. But we have to let the roadworks go. We have to let the gas board do their job, and in the end, it's going to stop. And then he's got 4 buses. Somebody said, "Why don't we just run 3 buses?" He gave a perfect explanation. Can you give me his explanation, Karen? I bet you wouldn't know.
No, I don't know.
So the A bus has 4 buses, and they deliver at certain times, and they get paid extra money to deliver 4th bus to them. Nah.
Yep.
He said, but now it takes 1 hour and 5 minutes for that. I wear hearing aids, guys, so if I'm touching my ear, it's whistling. It takes 1 hour and 5 minutes for that bus to go around. So they've got a bus which is on reserve, which will always kick in, but that bus will be used then for the extra estates which has been built. And you cannot stop progress. What's your view on building? I'm against it because I don't like change.
There is a point where it's too much.
But the government has said, build.
But at what point are you going to stop? Build the infrastructure.
If your infrastructure
if it's not there
up to standard, it's going to get worse and worse.
Same
in
with
and around Exeter. I mean, it's shocking. I've got parishes ringing. I went to a residents meeting in Poltamore last week, and when the accident happened on the M5 with the lorry, the lorry fire, you should see the roads around their houses. They cannot. They are feared to walk out of the front of their properties, and people shouldn't live like that. We shouldn't have to live like that.
Then how do you solve it? You see, because it just
more
takes
and more people coming to live in Devon, and they want to build more and more houses. The county can't cope. They haven't got the money to pay for for the roads to be looked after well enough.
Yeah, but I just need to, Steve, can you just confirm you did donate over 3 million to the swimming pool area for the heating? Just wanted that money for the weeds, really. Sorry, thought I'd get that in, Karen. Yeah, Karen, what's your being a future councillor or potential councillor because she might not pass the vetting?
I might not.
What would you do to help change this city?
I think weeds has got to be up there. I think the flower, and you just
Well,
need to make.
not according to the local Labour councillors. They say it's quite a trivial matter.
No. All right,
I
Karen.
don't think it is a trivial matter because further down the line, those weeds are just going to break up all the pavements.
Exactly.
The amount of money it's going to cost to repair the pavements, the roads. It is about the weeds because of the way the city looks. I think it looks atrocious, but it's about what's going to happen to the infrastructure.
Exactly.
And we haven't got the money now to cope with the weeds. How are we ever going to repair the pavements?
This is the one
the
thing
roads?
I found quite shocking when you find out that we haven't got anybody in Devon, and it is Devon County Council's responsibility to deal with the weeds. And Exeter City have got, I believe it's 2 people on the graffiti team.
No, they did these are good figures actually. 57 people. They're down to
But on the
43.
graffiti team.
2.
2. Exactly.
Right, yeah, I have to come in on this.
And I know they do a brilliant job. They do a brilliant job. I will say that.
Exeter City Council is not their fault with the weeds.
No.
And the lady who I'm not going to mention, she knows I have total respect for her. She has tried her hardest. There's no funding. And ironically, though, I've only quickly read my emails from Devon County Council, and somebody has asked me to come in to speak to them because Tony and I put a motion in regarding finding the money to deal with the weeds. And there was a note. So 2 of my motions, if they didn't just blab their gums too much, and I'm talking about the Lib Dems loving themselves at the last meeting, we might have got the motions forward. But we're trying to get the funding to give to Exeter City Council to deal with the weeds.
Up with a
They
suggestion.
just need to divert some funding from somewhere else.
Yeah, a suggestion here.
Yeah, but so let's just get it clear.
If you ride
it's
a
not
bike-
Exeter City's fault. And, you know, I know we prod at Labour because, you know, I'm not a Labour man. You might have gathered that. But it's not Exeter City's fault.
Right. No, so one of the suggestions I could say is you ride a bike, there's always money for bike lanes. So perhaps we could adapt some bikes with some weed killer on and they could go cycling along.
That's a great idea.
And you think, well,
You know, that's
yeah,
a
but there's always
fantastic
money,
idea.
you know, for bikes, for bike lanes everywhere.
Fabulous
So,
idea.
you know, technically you could say, yes, this £500,000 we're wasting on the triangle on a bicycle route.
Yeah,
that
well,
they've
we
magically
voted for it, though.
found.
We did vote because
Why
we knew
don't
we
we
were going to
adapt?
lose anyway.
Why don't we adapt some of these bikes so they can carry some weed killer and while they're going along, get those weeds done?
I don't think that's going to happen, Tony.
No, I don't. But
I
it's just thinking outside the box, isn't it?
I think there's common sense, and we've got to look after the future of what we've already got. And if it's breaking up and falling apart in front of our eyes,
Well, if we
And we
leave it,
know-
it's just going to be a jungle anyway,
exactly.
isn't it?
So money's going to be moved around and put in places where that's not going to be a bigger drain in the future. We need to get on top of it now.
So the question is, does Riverside need, is it 3.6 million?
I haven't confirmed that. There was only
No.
what Rob said. So
It's
I
only
have to
what-
tell you,
what's been
I
said.
have to be very careful what
Well,
I
have
say.
to be said,
because
but if it is
Steve, if you
true-
could send me an email and say whether you are or you aren't, and if I'm wrong, I will apologise to you.
Next week.
And oh no, I definitely apologise. And guys, if I get anything wrong, right? Remember, I do have a job as well, and I love this job. I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Tony gets up at 5 o'clock. Karen, you will be getting up at 5 o'clock, and that you're a legend anyway.
Can I say, by the way,
always a
while
way
this
to
is
get
going
half
on,
five
hello
in
to
the
my daughter who's stuck on the M25 traffic.
M5.
M25.
Oh right, yeah.
She's on the London Ring Road, stuck in traffic, where she'll probably be for another few hours yet, and wasn't very happy on the phone. I just thought I'd get that
Do
out.
you know the sad thing is now?
Go on.
with all smartphones and this, that, and the other, does anybody actually notice getting an extra hour on that Sunday?
No, I
is
didn't.
it?
No, I still
By the
woke
time
up.
you wake up, your clocks have gone forward, backwards automatically. Like, and you don't. You know, you used
No, I
to
had to go
physically
around the
have
house.
to put the clock
I had to
back.
go around the house adjusting all the clocks.
Well, I admit, we had our granddaughter stay with this weekend, and one of my biggest mistakes, and if you're a grandfather and grandmother, do not allow them to stay in your bed, okay? Trust me. So this granddaughter, who's under 3 now, basically manoeuvred her way in, tactical, outsmarted me, whatever, ended up in our bed in the middle. She kicks my wife in the back. I'm deaf, so I don't hear nothing. And then she decides to wake up, which I thought was 6 o'clock in the morning, decides to sit on me, jump up and down and say, I need to go toilet. All right. I'm thinking it's 6 o'clock and it's so I'm quite not happy.
It's 5 o'clock then.
Not happy at all. Yeah. And then I realised that we never put the clocks back. Yeah. So my wife's not happy. I'm not happy. But, by the way, this young girl is now potty trained. She's been fabulous. And we had a good time, didn't we, with her? Yeah. I'm looking at my wife there, who's not allowed to come on, but she's a legend. Yeah. Okay, we're going to go on to the next thing now. We're going to talk about the firehouse, and we've always been honest and open with you guys. And one of my dreams and Tony's dream was to try and replicate the chatterbox. Karen, have you ever been to the chatterbox?
I haven't, no.
Right, I'd like you, my wife, Jess, Nat, you need to come to the chatterbox. It is a fabulous place. Tony, you're coming, you've got no choice. Fabulous
thanks.
place. There's a lot of people who spend a lot of time, their own time, where people come along. We were hoping to replicate that in Overton, in Carrot Street, the firehouse. So I'm going to hand it over to Tony.
Yeah. I mean, it's sitting there, as you can probably see, and it is for sale. And from what I gather, there's been no interest. So what they're going to try and do is put it out so that you can do apartments, just to make it more desirable. I'd like to have seen it as a sort of community hub, but realistically, and after sort of doing this thing for 5 months and actually listening to, I'll give Phil Bylett credit on this. Through some of the talking he was giving me advice, I realise it's just not possible. It just would not be held. The community would not be able to hold it. So it's one of those that, unfortunately, it's just going to be used for something else, be it apartments. So I will give Phil credit for that.
Are you aware of this, Karen, about the
No.
firehouse? Okay, if I do a quick thing. So the firehouse is in Carrot Street. It used to be a council building. It also used to be the fire station in St. Thomas. All right, my father used to go there for age concern, and a lot of people, a lot of really well, all different generations. I think you're 55, you can get a meal. A roast.
I'll be in there then.
My wife was trying to take me. And at the end of the day, the council put the rent up. Age concern, if I'm correct, age concern, they spent a lot of money in there. They gave a really good service, but the rent went up. We had the lockdown, all that rubbish, and they basically moved out. So a lot of people lost a facility, which I think...
Well, they lost a hub, didn't they?
Yeah, a hub. Okay, Exeter City won't do cheap rent, because they won't. We were trying to get it under there's a rule, what's the rule called?
The Community Trust.
Community Trust. Phil, thank you, Phil, for giving us guidance. I don't want to do a white elephant. Is that what they call it?
Yeah, I mean, it was one, through talking to him, I had a better understanding that perhaps it's best not to aim too high on something that, quite simply, we would not have been able to hold.
I know other parties have actually looked at it and said they're doing this and this and this, and they've all gone quiet. But we're being open, we're being transparent. If anybody's got a lot of money and want to buy it, I'll try and get a team organised.
Put it in my bank account, and I'll get it for you.
No, but there is...
No, maybe not.
No, because I've been accused of...
Yeah, that we can't say that.
Fraud, don't I? What?
Yeah, I mean, just approach us, like I say. I mean, we can approach Exeter City or approach Exeter City yourself.
There is a gentleman out there who's his father used to play the accordion, and if he ever wants to come over to me, I can't mention his name. What a legend he is! He's totally into green energy and all that. And if he wants to contribute some money to start this ball rolling, and I put my hat out the chat box, if they could get a team or we could put requests out, this would be a win-win-win for everybody. But as it stands right now, Tony.
Well, as it stands now, there is nothing this side of the river. I mean, Age Concern operate from Mount Pleasant Way. There's nothing. And obviously, people are sitting there in their houses feeling lonely, and they need things to get out and to sort of meet other people. Just like Chatterbox in Alphington.
You could actually use it not just for older people to come along. You could use it for various
It's
things.
been adapted for a lot of things.
Yeah, but I just don't... Karen, being a potential councillor... this is, you're going to have it in your area. They're closing them down. And I understand why there's no money, right? But anybody or any company or anybody wants to support this. And I really, what gets on my nerves, we ask people to help. And you know what? You all talk that
I
you
think
can do this, and nobody does it. No.
There lies a problem. Like, trying to get help with anything, you know, people coming out and doing some volunteering and stuff like that, which ultimately, if they did, makes life a lot easier and makes things work. And you get a great sense of achievement out of it and pride. And it would be nice to see more people volunteering for stuff and just generally helping out and backing up if they're prepared to say it in the first place, to back it up.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who bump their gums and talk in this. Keyboard warriors, guys, that really get it. Karen, I've had, do you know, I actually woke up this morning, Karen, and thought, why do I do this? I've got the most beautiful wife in the world. I've got the best family. I've got the best brother who listened to me as councillor. And I think, why? Because I've had keyboard warriors. I've had people I owed £70,000 to. Well, it's all a load of rubbish.
Well, actually, saying that, I mean, somebody did say, even after you were cleared in the court, to say it wasn't your fault. Saying,
well, I wasn't going to go down that road.
No, but I will say this now, you know.
Now, cut that.
Oh, not
interested in that. Not interested in that.
Anymore.
End of story. I made I did a Devon live, and I said that's it. I'm not talking about it. Right. So right. Let's go down to Sainsbury's. I had a really interesting email regarding the
not the yellow lines.
Yes.
Now you see, I've chased that one. And
yes.
The sad news is, I don't know how far you got. The sad news is, we have to say this a lot of the times. Highways, we have no control, nor do the local councillors, of highway projects and when they're going to do it. It's all down to funding. All I can tell you is it's penciled in for early 2026.
But
no amount of pressure will get them. And even though they resurfaced all of Alphington Road and they could have actually replaced those lines when they did that, you think
it's such an easy task, and do it when you do.
Well, they stopped at the yellow box. That was the annoying
Karen,
thing.
what would you do as an Exeter City Councillor, even though you have no power, because you are not to do with traffic, road. So, and I have to say this to you, Labour guys, you got a problem, you speak to Tony and myself regarding the roads, because there's nothing to do with you.
Exactly.
Karen.
Well, I just struggle with listening to all these stories about they can't do this and they can't do it. It can't be that difficult.
It's to do with funding.
That difficult? But I think they put their funding in the wrong places.
Well,
and I don't know who makes the decision as to where the funding goes.
The problem
Lib
is,
what did you say?
The problem is, though, as Nat knows, we do not have any in-house road maintenance teams. It all gets subbed out, and they will come down and do them as job lots.
Well, I mean, what it does, they put it on a work schedule. So it might be on a schedule for 6 months' time or 12 months' time. But what I struggle to get my head around is that if they go and resurface a road or do potholes and there's other things to do,
get it all done.
You must know that it's on another sheet somewhere.
Well,
get it all done at the same time.
Anybody else,
get it all done at the same time.
No, because it's different teams, different
and
companies.
Then that's far less aggro for the people that live around there, and it's done all in one hit. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist, surely, to go, well, that needs doing and that needs doing at the same place and do it all at the same time.
Exactly my point. It can't be that difficult to coordinate all the
well,
different things.
Apparently
that need
it
to
is,
be done,
isn't it?
And it would stop all this traffic, all these road closures. I'm sure they could get a lot of it done at the same time.
Somebody remarked, why can't they do it
other.
24/7? Which is a good question, really. I do question that. Yes, it's annoying for some of the residents who've got to put up with it, but then it'd be done twice as quick, wouldn't it?
Well, we can all sit here for solutions, and
Why
at
can't
the end
they
of the
work at
day,
night? Why can't
Devon
they do
County
work at
Council,
night?
there is a lot of moving parts. So I'm defending them, really, Karen.
So maybe there's too many moving parts.
Maybe, I
Maybe
totally
there's
agree.
too
It's too many moving parts. There's a lot of if I'm correct, they get people from out of country, up country. They come down, they stay in a hotel, they do their work, and then they go back.
They use quite a lot of
to bring them
companies.
down. They have to have a load of work,
So
and
we
then
don't
they smash
have
it
people
out.
in the local area that can
No,
do that.
we do
then?
not have an in-house team.
I don't know actually,
how
because
can-
somebody did. I did question that, and somebody said they have got in-house team.
Well, I questioned
I'll
it, and
talk to
I
my
got
brother-in-law on
told
that.
I got told no. and that was on a highway.
Well, I'll speak to the Lib Dems, or you will, and
I
find
don't
out the
mind,
answers. So next week we'll give you the answers whether we've got in.
You know, I think it's like a lot of things, like school transport. You have to have your own teams.
Now we're going off the subject.
No,
Mike.
we're going off the subject.
No, we'll
but
carry on that subject.
I'll swing
Karen,
back on it.
We're
and
going to
say,
carry on that
We
subject.
need in-house teams. You'll get local jobs out of it.
Exactly.
You'll have your, get your own vehicles, get your own teams.
Exeter
Yes, you've got to
people
train them.
fixing Exeter's
but-
roads.
That way then you can hit these areas.
Well, you bring
Teach
employment
somebody
in,
how
you would bring-
to
but-
do yellow lines.
Yeah, but you know what the negative side of it is? They don't want to pay the pensions and all this extra money on top.
Well,
I'm sure if you were to look at local government at Exeter level, I'm sure there is a lot of jobs that could be combined into maybe one person's role, and I think there could be a lot.
oh, don't tell all the officers that.
Are we missing something here? Obviously, when these contracts get given out to firms up country, you're talking about digs for these guys for sometimes weeks on end.
Would not be cheaper.
Whereabouts does that sort of sit in the prices that are,
Because
that
these
being
companies
accepted?
have to make a profit.
Well, yeah.
So you say about pensions and national insurance, but you think these companies aren't
But
doing
let's
it
go
at a
back
loss.
to let's go back to
there's-
Alphington Road
there's
markings,
local-
All right, back to that.
which affects Cowick. It affects Marsh Barton. By the way, somebody wrote to me the other day about Marsh Barton and all the weeds. It is a gateway. I have to come back to the motion in a minute. St Thomas, Exwick, the guy who deals with highways, Roger, I won't mention his second name. He's a legend. He has been, if I write an email within 24 hours, and that's not a dig at the Labour guys, councillors who I wrote to yesterday, he got 24 hours to reply, by the way. He replies right away. And he'll give me a straight answer, yes, no, or we're waiting for the job. And he will meet Tony and I on site, which is what I want. Meet us on site. And not a dig at the councillors. I've invited you to meet me on site. So let's meet on Shillingford Road on site. Sorry, I don't care anymore. I've had a really bad couple of weeks where people were trying to call me whatever. And really, I don't care.
You're
Call me
not
what
that
you
person, Neil. You're not that person.
One of the people who would be nice to meet is the prospective Labour councillor for Alphington as well.
Oh, no, I'm not
she's-
being nasty.
No,
Apparently she's
I
really
wouldn't be
nice.
nasty,
Lucy,
but she
I've
could
heard you
get
very
involved.
nice and brilliant. Really, really good.
She could get involved, though.
While we're on the subject, poppies. Who's got their poppies, guys?
Hey.
Okay, ex-military. I'm proud to be ex-military, right? We should be supporting this Poppy Day. So get out there and buy your poppies. There's veterans out there living on the streets. There's veterans who've lost limbs. There's veterans who've got mental health issues. We need to support these poppy appeal. So get out, wear your poppies with pride. That's what I'm going to say to you. Okay.
So look at the prompt board
I've had a
there.
question from Drop Curbs. Okay, I know somebody who deals in drop curves. You know what a drop curve is, Karen?
Yeah.
Explain to me what a drop curve is.
It's got you there.
A dropped curb is where the curb drops down, where you can get a vehicle on and off.
Onto
and
your driveway.
Cross a
Correct.
pavement.
Well done.
Correct.
Okay, I didn't
Have
know
one
that. You've just
myself.
educated me
I
now.
have one myself.
Yeah. Exeter City Council have now put up the application to apply for a drop curb. And don't look at the board. How much? You've looked at the board.
Up maybe 85%.
Well, I was going to say without looking at the board,
I can't help it.
when
Right
I
in front
put
of
the
me.
application in,
So you've got the normal person who wants to put a car on a drive, and to legally do that, well, they could drive over the curb. I mean, nobody's stopping them, but you're going to cause damage, right? Where they drop the curb in front of their house, and because we're overpopulated, we've got too many vehicles, and people can't park on the road, so they lose the garden, Karen, don't they?
Yes.
Right. So then they have to apply for a drop curb. They've put up at 85%. Exeter City Council, how do you justify Exeter City 85%? And guess what else they're putting up?
Parking charges.
oh,
I
parking
suppose.
charges. yeah.
Matt, carry on. Carry on.
I don't know. I don't.
I
I
mean,
rarely.
it boils down to the fact they need money.
I really
So
have to
there-
park.
there's
in
Yeah, but how
somebody
much,
think
how much
about-
are they putting up?
Wouldn't know.
Well,
85%.
no, actually, no. They'll say it's only 50%, and then they'll say, well, yes, but instead of paying £1.50 to park, you now only be paying £2 or something like that. You think, well, you can see why the high streets are dying a death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is.
Well, it's Devon County Council.
Oh, my
actually, sorry.
apologise.
Devon County Council, better get that in.
I've always said, I've been just giving the information, is
It's
Devon County Council. So come and justify 85%. Now that goes to the person who's going to do the actual job, and then it goes to the customer. How many taxes are there? Am I right? It's 39 different types of taxes on us right now. 39 taxes. And no, was she called Angela Thieves? No.
Rachel Thieves.
Rachel Thieves. Am
Or
I allowed to say that?
Rachel
No,
from
well,
accounts.
Rachel
yeah,
Thieves. Oh, by the
allegedly.
way,
Rachel from accounts.
she didn't
Rachel from
she
accounts.
didn't get a license. We're not going down.
No,
that
you
road.
know.
Right.
They've reopened the inquiry.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to wish her
But
any
the thing
bad
is,
on.
with the autumn budget coming up, there may be more
No,
taxes.
I'm not.
added.
I have to make this statement. I don't really care what she did, and I think there's a little bit of no, I just think it's wrong. Let her.
Point
she made
scoring.
a mistake.
No, she campaigned for that to be a thing.
Oh, did she?
Yes, she did.
Oh, Karen, shove it on to Karen.
Oh.
Go for
She
it.
campaigned for that to be a thing, and
Naughty Rachel.
And now she's decided that she doesn't want to do it. And
Bent-
if you're
bent
going to be in a
around rules.
position of power, you've got to abide by the rules. If you make the rules,
Well,
Yeah.
if it's any consolation, Keir Starmer has forgiven her because she wrote a lovely letter and
Well,
said, I
that-
made a mistake.
I think you'll find
Forgiven.
that now they've read her husband's emails, I think he might not be forgiving her.
All right,
We'll
well, that's
see. We'll wait
changed
and
as well,
see.
eh?
We'll wait and see.
Oh, my.
Politics for you, eh?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, but there's. I'm just a little bit. You replace. You've got one idiot in that position. What idiot's going to replace her? Yeah.
Yeah, but the
Am I
chancellor's
allowed to use the word
but
idiot?
the chancellor's always
Yeah,
a
I
fool
don't
guy,
think that's
isn't it?
a...
I mean, she's not qualified, is she?
Well,
can't-
she is
she's-
according to her resume, although
Rachel
somebody
from where?
What-
somebody
She worked in
pointed
a
out
bank.
I mean,
she
it's
worked for the
very-
Bank of England in the middle office or something.
I would say it's
Right, let's
very,
go
very
back to the
basic.
subject.
All right,
Okay.
forget about that. We've
So
gone off
we're
subject.
going to discuss. It's a rabbit hole. We can bounce off because I don't care anymore. And in the next few weeks, I'm not going to script anything. But Maryvale Road.
Maryvale Road, yeah, there has been an update on that, and that all going well with the tenders now sorted. Building work, apparently, according to Exeter City Council, will start in January.
What building? What are you talking about?
January this year.
Yeah,
Maryvale.
what's
it
happening?
is-
Tell me. I don't know.
Well,
Karen
Exeter-
don't know.
Exeter
Nat
City-
don't know.
Next year,
we've Exeter City Council had a building company that they used for maybe tax reasons, maybe not, and they were doing a lot of building work. One of the areas was Maryvale Road, Newman Road, but unfortunately that building company was badly run, and don't quote me, but I believe it fell into about £10 million debt.
It did.
Yeah, about 10 million.
Our money.
Yeah, it's your money, surprisingly enough.
Well, it doesn't matter.
But it
does
doesn't
Let's
matter
not
what's
know
10
where that
million,
came
eh?
from.
What's 10 million?
Well,
between us?
I can
Depending
tell you
on
what
where that
10
came
million
from.
is if you really want to know. It's a group of people that would clean weeds up and more graffiti team. All right? But that's just... Oh, and more psychopaths.
Anthony,
Don't forget
and that's
them.
where I rest my case.
Yeah, don't
Surely
forget the
money
psychopaths.
should be diverted.
But
from
the
other
fact
things.
is they do say that they are going to build in January. Now, the thing is people are asking... I've said it would be lovely if it was for local people. So hopefully it will be. But that, like I said, is
presume
out
it
of
will
our
be for
control.
local people, won't it?
Well, it would
Or-
be, yeah.
or anybody who needs a
No,
house,
I'm
you
not. I'm just pointing out.
Karen,
that
you look like you
a
wanna
lot
say
of, No, the
something.
reason I say that was because when they originally knocked down the buildings, because they were sort of badly constructed, a lot of
Concrete
people...
cancer.
Concrete cancer. A lot of people were displaced. And those people, as far as I know, haven't all gone back. They were moved into other places on the estate.
Right. I don't know that. I don't know.
I don't
Well,
know
you won't
anything about
because it's in my district, you see.
Of course, yes. Sorry.
Much as I don't know about things in
In
Uffington.
regards to that, Tony, do the local residents get information to ask if they're if
you
they, if
you
there's
you know
anybody
it's
that
the freedom
wants
of
to-
information. You know, I get a lot of backlash on it as well. Funny enough, but you know anyone can write into Exeter City.
say they want a house or
No, that's got to do with housing allocation, isn't it? But we won't go down that route because it depends when they build these houses, whether Exeter City are in control of these houses or another company called Clear Springs, who may allocate them to other people.
okay.
Right, going back to...
That was very subtly done, I
I
thought.
need to talk about Chudley Road and
Very
Dawlish
subtly
Road.
done there.
Chudley Road
See?
and Dawlish Road. Guys, if you live in Alphington, I've already said this, it will come out on our leaflet. Dawlish Road, I've spoke to the officers. I had a meeting with 5 of them. We had a really constructive meeting from the Devon Motel to the so I'm hearing these blanked out, to where you come into Alfreton is going to be reduced from 60 to 30. I think my last predecessor was agreed 40. We negotiated 30. It goes into consultation in November till January, and then it will be implemented.
How much will that cost?
It won't cost much because all they're going to
Consultation.
do is they own most of the land next to it. Some of the building companies own the land. They've got to put signs up. And Norman, thank you for the information you gave me. The other one, which is Chudley Road, is already reduced to 30 because of the building sites, and that's going to stay as 30. And mud on the road, guys. If you've got a problem, you speak to me. I've already spoke to Devon County Council. I've already explained that one of their machines broke down to clear the mud. It will be cleared, and it will get worse. But Devon County Council have told me to tell you guys, give them time to get it all sorted out. It will be correct in the end. They're changing the road layouts. It isn't going to be miraculous. It's not a miracle. There's going to get lorries there. You're going to get mud on the road. Come on, let's grow up, all right? Let's not waste time on that.
I thought it was a good picture, though.
Well, I'm not going down there.
I just thought it was a lovely picture of the road, that was all.
Yeah, well,
I didn't see any mud on it, but it was a lovely picture.
It might have rained, Tony.
It might have.
Washed it off.
Anyway,
right, let's go back
Look,
to...
I was on about the
Let's
picture
go back
now.
to your area. What's happening in your area?
Well, I've been out. So a couple of weeks ago, I went to Stoke Cannon and helped a couple of parish councillors out with some removal of weeds that... weeds, keep talking about weeds.
You should have bought a picture
But
of
it looked horrific. There was a lovely stone wall. There was a raised footpath along the side of the road going through the village. The two gentlemen that came to help me, great men. I gave up sort of Sunday morning for it, and we took away a trailer of rubbish and whatnot, and got it back the way it should be. All right, it's not ideal because you can't spray the weeds that are in the pavement, but that's what it needs. It needs
Can't
to be
do
got
that.
rid of.
Bad for the
No,
environment.
but there is
You
weed killer,
can.
which is
And
There is
You
environmental.
just use the right
environmentally
stuff.
friendly weed killer.
Yeah.
I
You
think
just
there
use the right
needs to
stuff.
be pretty rapidly something found that we can use to deal
We always
with it.
bring Norman in with his flamethrower, couldn't we?
So,
No,
so
it wasn't
those
Norman.
guys
Oh,
were great. Did that. I'm due to go back this Sunday and finish a small stretch of it. So get that nailed. And then this also last week I had a residents meeting, which I mentioned with the residents of Poltmore, or a hamlet of Poltmore called Ratslow. And like I said, when the lorry fire happened on the M5 the other day, and this is a problem in all around Exeter, and what it like when there's an accident like that on the M5, our villages and our roads and our economy all fail drastically, and it's a knock-on effect around the place. I had an
Well, they
email.
become rat
I had an
runs,
email.
don't they?
I had an email from somebody to say in the Lib Dems to say it didn't matter because he lived on Dartmoor. Right. Well, that's not a good enough answer for me. We need to sort out the diversions, and we need to be quicker at responding to things that happen on the motorway like that, because that will then help the residents that I'm trying to help.
It all depends what situation there is, because
I think this is
if there's a
quite
major
an
accident,
unusual
sadly
one, that.
people lose their lives. We have to live that. There's more. The bottom line is there's more vehicles on the road. I think Alfreton is 3,000 more vehicles coming through Alfreton. All right.
Yeah.
And somebody did say to me they've reduced the speed limit to 20. And I think my mother actually said, you got to concentrate that you're doing 20, and it's quite hard to concentrate. So
difficult.
personally, you've got to concentrate. And coming back to the sad accident, and I'm sorry to cut you short on this,
No, you're right.
all right, because roads are a big thing in Exeter, which affects the buses. Sadly, a young man lost his life, and I'm dealing with a lady who actually held this man's hand. I haven't forgotten you. I'm waiting for the answer from Roger, who gets the answer from the police. The signage, and I got to be careful what I say here, because I don't actually know what actually... I've got to be careful what I say, but maybe somebody might have been using the phone. I don't know. But you could have all the signage in the world. Guys, don't use your phone. Put your phone in the glove compartment. Everything can be answered later on. If this is true, the person was using a phone. Don't use your phone. Tony.
It's not just your phones, is it? I pass people sort of eating food and stuffing a burger in their face and this is so many other things.
I must admit, when I used to do lorry driving, I used to see people
sucking their thumbs,
yeah, thinking, "Oh no, here he comes." No, watching their phones, TV screens, and things like that.
Yeah,
I've actually seen
Doing their
a lorry
lipstick.
driver with a pot noodle, and he had his arms on and he was eating a pot noodle as he was. Yeah, a bit of advertising.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's surprising how many people you pass. Actually, you see sucking their thumbs when they're driving.
Sucking their thumb?
Sucking
Yeah, have
their
you not
thumbs.
noticed?
No.
I
haven't, no.
I
Maybe
did
I
suck
should-
my
I-
thumb to about 11.
I
by
ran
the
out
way.
of the picking
No,
the nose.
it was
but
my finger, actually, and he's a little bit warped anyway right now. Yeah. Yeah,
I don't know.
warped, is that a word? Karen. So let's go back to you, Karen. It's fantastic you coming on tonight, and I think this lady is a legend. She's taken on the mantle. She's taken on this. She wants to become a reformed councillor for Exeter. And you know you're up against a big brick wall. You're going to pick a boulder up. All right. We've got a gentleman there already called Anthony Payne. He's the only reformed councillor. Hats off to Anthony. He's been shunned. He's not been, he's working hard to be reformed. And I'll tell you what, Anthony, keep it up. All right. We're trying to get you other people to support you. We're trying to make Exeter great again. I like that.
Yeah.
Man,
I like
that's
it.
That just come out. That was just
No
random
script,
there.
no script. Look.
Do you know what? I think
He
you
needs
will.
to come on the podcast.
Yeah, well, Anthony, we'll bring you on next time. But we've got somebody quite good next week. Dryden Road. Okay. Ian,
I'm coming.
you want to
Ian,
come?
always
she's
a
right.
touchy
So
one, this.
we'll have the same crew.
Am I
You're
sacked
gonna-
next
yeah,
week? Am I?
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
in all
am
the
I?
time
Yeah,
now.
that's right.
Yeah, he's part of the team now.
It's one of-
We've
one
got
of
8
our-
minutes left. You've got 8 minutes
Yeah,
left.
it's
All
one
right.
of the subjects that, we actually did vote to get Dryden Road open, 4 of us. But unfortunately, there are a lot of local Labour and Green and Lib Dems who don't want it open yet. They want more consultation, which questions, why is it 5,000 people who signed a
No,
signature?
it's 4.5.
4.5, 5. We're only talking
Aren't there people that work at the hospital have also signed
It
that?
is an
and-
arterial route
quite a lot of people
into
signed it,
We've
but
had
it didn't count
ambulance,
for anything.
Firemen,
Yeah.
doctors,
Right
It
nurses.
didn't count for anything because they listened to those bloody
Do you know
cyclists
about
again.
Dryden Road? It is,
I
it
see a
is
lot of it,
wide
yeah.
enough
Yeah.
to get 2 cars, 2 cycle paths, and 2 pavements. It is
Or-
Have you
completely
walked
wide.
down it right
Or
lately?
20 bikes in a row.
What's it tomorrow?
Yeah.
What's it
It's
tomorrow?
so
Halloween.
wide.
Yeah.
You walk down, the kids are bloody scared down there because it's like run down. There's weeds. It hasn't been looked after. Kids walk down Dryden Road, and that brings me on to the next subject. Tony,
Which is what?
Lib Dem. Why did he stand up when he wasn't even living
Oh
in
yeah.
Exeter?
Well, this is a question I've got to ask. And I do like obviously the youth's opinion, the children's opinion, but our beloved Devon Lib Dem leader, Julian Brazil, actually attended the meeting, even
with
though
his
he,
Jesus shoes on. Sorry,
Jesus
I'm,
shoes on, Jesus
So
boots.
I'm army. I like
he,
respect. I
not
represent
living
the
in
people.
Exeter.
No,
he
I
stood
represent the
up,
people,
yeah.
so I will wear a shirt and tie. I'm not
he
always
sort of
tidy.
gave his opinion,
Yeah.
which was he thinks that children should have their opinion about whether or not Dryden Road should be open. Now, I value their opinion, but if you don't drive and you don't sit in a traffic jam, don't want your opinion, really.
Well, it's a very, first of all, it's not his area. And I
really, it's
think,
not
why
his
the hell are
business.
you coming to our meeting and why are you standing up? And I think, I don't really care what you talk about. The children, I've got children. I don't know how many children he's got. But when I was going to school, I didn't really care. I was taught the highway code. Were you taught the highway code?
100%.
Look left, look right,
Yeah.
cross
Look
the
left
road.
again.
I didn't care whether there's cars or not, as long as I didn't get hurt. All right. So why are we going around the different schools asking opinion of the children? And by the way, they're all manipulated in the schools anyway.
Correct.
All right. That's my view.
Yes, they are.
All right. And I don't care if you don't like it. Brilliant. I've just been told by the boss here 5 minutes. The boss is my wife. by
Good
the
job
way.
you didn't say
Karen,
two,
are you married? Yes.
No.
No. Sensible woman. Yeah. I've met your wife. Lovely. I know who the boss is in your family. Tony.
Well, yeah.
I know the boss.
She may not be here when I go back now. But
So let's just do a little bit of a summing up. So Tony, the firehouse, unless we get
yeah,
somebody,
I mean, without the funding from the community, it is a lost cause. You just would not be able to hold it. And I can understand why they want to sell it, but the problem is once any of Exeter City's assets are sold, it's sold. It's not
you're
coming
actually
back.
on the You're on the board of.
No,
assets.
I'm on the Devon County one, not the Exeter City.
No, okay.
They
so
keep us out of that
Things
one.
are being sold. What do they call it? Without mentioning names, because you're not allowed to.
It's
Not
assets,
not
isn't
the
it?
silver. What do they
Family
call
Oh
it?
no! At the
Selling off the family
moment,
silver.
Devon County Council are selling off our bronze,
Oh,
our bronze,
bronze.
assets.
bronze.
Yeah, because there's bronze, silver, and gold. So,
But
Larkbeer House,
these
Larkbeer House, I
assets
think,
technically belong to the people.
I think Larkbeer House was a gold one,
Matt,
but
would you,
they want to
Matt,
get rid
would
of
you
it.
say,
They do.
surely, do
Yes,
they belong
do.
to the people?
Yes, of course they do.
It does, but
yeah,
unfortunately, they'll tell you they do not have the money. So by selling their bronze,
But in defence of Devon County Council, and the CEO is lovely, by the way. I can't mention her name, but she's lovely. They've applied for different grants to the government, and everyone. I think we mentioned this last time. Everything is they've got nothing from the government.
they've
Well,
got
this is-
actually. I
this
think
is the trouble,
from
this-
what I got told, they actually got a budget sorted, and I think the government then cut that how much money they were going to send by 18 million. I think so. They had to go back and drastically. I think overnight actually they had to go back and drastically figure out where they were going to save more money.
Yeah.
Because the simple truth is, and it does annoy me, we're the forgotten area. The votes for them are up north. They're not down here. So up north, they will receive money. Down here, hardly anything.
I think some of the aid that they send abroad needs to be redirected.
Well, I think there's loads of
to-
subjects
to
there that we
more,
can't go into.
But there's a lot of money.
We're opening up
being
a
sent
big,
abroad
But I do
that
feel
should-
sorry for Devon County Council because they're trying to do the budget.
They don't
so
get funding from local
no,
government.
they're we can sit here and slate everybody and slate the officers. Every officer I've worked with has been lovely, and I have to say, Devon County Council officers, they stick by the rules. There's too many rules, by the way. All right, but let's go on to the next slide. Weed of the week.
Oh, weed of the week. Oh, no, that's wrong, isn't it?
Oh no, sorry,
So we got that one in the wrong order.
Sorry about that.
There we go. Look.
I thought you were going to
It's
say
Weed of the Week.
he is Weed of the
No,
Week.
sorry about that, Steve. Sorry,
So-
our mistake.
Yeah, sorry, Steve.
Yeah,
And
you
Tony's
won't be
got
winning on that
Tony's got a
one.
bit of an apology, have you?
Uh,
Can we get a
oh,
picture
yeah.
of Tony?
Apparently, I called you. Well, we actually said when Neil, who tried to control us, we did say that perhaps you're a little bit woke. We did listen to your response. And obviously, we did take it to heart. So we won't say it again.
yeah, and I'm
All right.
not saying you are woke, but if you got that 3
Yeah,
million,
sorry if my face didn't show that.
Can you get us 3 million to Devon County
Yeah.
Council? Because I've got a meeting tomorrow actually, which is a fastball.
Or come
to,
on our
to
pod.
deal with the weeds. Yeah, Steve, come on the pod.
Plenty seats. Look, there's one there next to Nat.
Yeah, you can come to the next one. I
So
don't-
anyway,
I
weed
don't-
of the
I don't
week.
bite.
This is one I'm actually going to award myself because I spotted this one.
Yeah, but you can't have weed of the week. That means
No,
I have
can
to
I?
give you the spray, and that's mean you're winning.
Well, I haven't won. I
Right,
haven't
while
won
we're
it
on
yet.
Weed of the Week, guys, there was a couple I met the other day were very interesting. They said, do you remember the old days when you used to see the lady at the front cleaning the step? You must remember that,
Yeah.
guys.
Scrubbing it.
Yeah, scrubbing the step. And they used to clear the weed. Yeah, we can all
Do
say,
our little bit.
there's weeds everywhere, which there is, by the way, on the main road tonight. But outside your own house, and by the way, I'm going to do mine this week. So if somebody wants to walk by my house and say you haven't done it, it'll be done by Saturday. Clear your front of your building. Just do that bit. Just help. It all helps. Would you agree?
Bit of pride. Bit of pride.
Well, I'd say a bit of pride,
Yeah, bit of pride.
Some people like it. I don't know.
And can we ask cyclists to ride on cycle paths, not in the middle of the road?
Yeah.
And,
And perhaps not go on those electric bikes so fast.
Right, so the conclusion, I hope you really enjoyed tonight. I can say, Tony, it's always been a pleasure. Nat, you're a legend. You're a legend.
I think I
Karen,
went over the edge a few
I
times.
think if you want to come on next week when we've got Ian Frankham, unless he
Yes, I
pulls
would
the
like
plug.
And
Ian
we may
Frank-
even have Steve.
Well,
never know.
Steve can't come on next week.
Well, he
'cause
might
he's
be
not been
able to.
invited.
Well, he might. Yeah,
No,
if
he's
a-
busy. He's up in London.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah,
that.
so he can't do that.
Maybe the
so
trains
there's a
won't be
lot of
running.
things we've discussed. We're trying to be open and honest. We produced this. It is in our own time to try and relay to you guys that we don't sit on our. I'm trying to find the correct word here.
Rears.
Bottoms.
Right, there's a lot of things going on in the background. I get a lot of emails. Tony gets a lot of emails. Nat, you really enjoying it. You're really getting it. Karen, you're
got it all
gonna
to
love
come.
it. To help people is my passion. I can't help everybody, and I get all this tarnished brush. You get tarnished. You know, at the end of the day, we're here to try and do our best, and that's all I can do.
Good team.
Yeah.
Good team.
So it's
But
good.
my grandchildren is my priority. Okay.
And hopefully they'll have a better life.
No, I want to get them into politics, really, don't I? And my wife. Sorry, my
Got a bit of
darling
a
wife.
coughing
I love you to
fit.
bits.
Coughing fit.
Yeah. Right. So really, really had a good evening. I hope you've enjoyed it. And next week we'll do again. And Rob, I hope you're enjoying yourself. And I'm sorry to scrub your agenda, which you worked really hard on. Good night.
Respect the place that you call home. Respect the